There's an actual business case that can be made to having women on teams.
And guess what? Just about every one of the things I've talked about, directly or indirectly, is impacted by how well we manage supply chain.
We currently face a shortage of skilled employees, and it's only going to get worse.
1 in 3 employers expect to have difficulties filling vacancies.
I want to thank you all for coming to this conference. The organizers of the event are really delighted to see such a large group of participants that are here to discuss the significant role that women are playing and can play in the future field of supply chain and logistics.
We currently face a shortage of skilled employees, and it's only going to get worse. The alarm was sounded on this about 5 years ago because we had the pending baby boomers that were going to be retiring. But the recession of 2008 put a lot of those retirements off.
You can see here, this just demonstrates that, not within just Canada, but within the Americas, there is a potential talent shortage. 1 in 3 employers expect to have difficulties filling vacancies due to the lack of available talent.
How are you as a company dealing with those skill gaps? Over a third of the companies that responded said they were going to steal them from other companies. I'm a little bit worried about the sustainability of that strategy.
But basically, the supply chain group needs to be in a position to respond and handle what is happening in the organization. And you look for people who have experience, skills, and character capable to respond and contribute in the right way at the right time. If your power isn't there, if you have an outage, if you have to accept an outage because we have to do work on the system, that is millions of dollars of lost production to you. These things all drive our business interests, our business decisions, and guess what? Just about every one of the things I've talked about, directly or indirectly, is impacted by how well we manage supply chain.
But in particular for women, it is seen as being a field that does allow for some flexibility, some work-life balance, but the range of opportunities, because it remains an evolving sector, really continues to be one of the attractions and something for us to highlight when we're looking to recruit anybody into roles, but in particular moving women forward in the field.
Women do bring a diversity of thought, a diversity of perspective, and increasingly we're seeing through studies done by organizations such as Catalyst, having women on the team impacts the bottom line.
I'm really passionate about women in supply chain. First of all, I think that it's a great career. I've had 17 years in supply chain and it's been fantastic for me.
And what makes supply chain interesting to me is the teamwork and the sense of urgency, especially in the oil fields, that because time is money. If something is delayed, it has very bad effect on the margins of the companies.
So what I found exciting about supply chain over the last 4 years that I've been at Weatherford is the chance to build hopefully lasting programs, but definitely build something from the ground up, and being a part of sort of the foundations of the procurement program at Weatherford.
I think it's important that, we've got a labor crunch coming, so if you're worried about the growth of the economy, that's going to be the constraint. And I think it's important to work on labor issues. I definitely think that it's an untapped resource or group within society, and I think it's a good thing for the sector that more women work in it. So.
I love the fact that it's about women. I love the fact that it's about supply chain, and I'm probably one of the first pioneers into the supply chain industry.
So what does it take to contribute to success? Hard work, determination, but it's not just that. We've got to be able to see the big picture, and I think our two speakers in the last session did a really good job. We've got to be leaders and look ahead and see the big picture, and yesterday we had two people say you got to know the business, you have to know it all.
And the one thing I always say is you are responsible for your career, your employer is not. Your employer can work with you. Your employer should be giving you opportunities, should be giving you mentoring, coaching, etc. But at the end of the day, it is your responsibility.
The other thing I'd like to say, though, is we often think about leadership as a positional thing. You have a job, you have a responsibility, other people will follow because it's on an org chart. But true leadership is not about an org chart. Again, this is about personal leadership. So number one, have the courage to take informed risks, but don't be perceived as risky.
When presenting ideas to decision makers, realize that it's your responsibility to sell, not their responsibility to buy. So this sounds like a typical sort of sales thing, but I am a buyer. That's what I do and what we do in our field. But I still every day need to be able to sell my ideas. I need to be able to influence people. I need to get them to understand what it is that I'm trying to get across. And if that doesn't happen, it's not necessarily their fault.
What is work-life balance? Because work-life balance means different things for different people, and it can mean different things for the same person at different moments in our lives.
And as you can see from my busy schedule, it truly does take a village to raise a child. And like any goal or priority set, we need to continually review them and to ensure that they work for everyone in our family. And I think the arrival of baby number 2 in August is going to shake up our schedule a bit. So,
my last point is to have the courage to find your voice. Now, this is different from the point I made in the beginning, but say what you want, what you expect, whether it is with a partner, your boss, your team, and people that work for you. Put out your expectations and say what you want.